up, everybody? Welcome to our live episode of Team Chat Podcast, a weekly video game show where we talk about video games, the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything in between. I am one of your hosts, Jared Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno to you as well. It feels good to be back at the table.
It does indeed. We obviously have a bit more of a cluttered table than usual. You'll have to forgive us. That's due to my many materials related to a great deal of temporary tattoos.
A great deal. You've got a lot.
A great deal of water and various cloths. And of course, our laptop to monitor chat.
Of course, because we want to talk with all you beautiful people.
We don't actually want to, but we will.
To.
We have to. It's a requirement.
Like Cody, who says the royalty-free music is jammin'. It is jammin'. I love that tune, actually. It's like itty bitty 8-bit, something like that. But we got Cody. We got The Doodle Abides. You are great at Twitch, yes.
I don't think that's Super Meat Boy. He upsets me. Although I will say that I'm kind of dressed like Super Meat Boy. I'm
all
wearing
red.
A lot of red
Yeah. So, welcome back, everybody. We have been on hiatus for a month. The whole month of October we took off so we could have a little bit of time to plan, get some extra episodes in the can, and come back to you all. But so let me roll out the normal introduction, just like we normally do. So, for those who may not know, Team Chat Podcast has new episodes come out each and every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Time. And you can listen to those across podcast services around the World Wide Web, such as iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also watch a video version of each episode on YouTube. Check out our website, teamchatpodcast.com/where to listen for a complete list of all the places that the show is available. We are also, find us on social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Already got those temporary tattoos going.
I'm working on it.
It looks great. Love it. And then you can also join our Discord channel. Links for all that are in the description below. And they're even on Twitch too. Look at that, planning ahead. We got this all set up. It's great. It's wonderful. And if you would like to support the show and help us make it bigger and better, you can head over to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. And in return, we'll give you some cool perks, which we're going to go over those more in a bit because we have some updates to our Patreon tiers and our goals that I think are going to be very exciting and everybody's going to really enjoy. So, but if not, that's totally fine. We totally understand, but we would still love your support in listens, subscribes, telling your friends, writing reviews. All those things help us get the word out about the show and help us make it bigger and better. So we appreciate every single person who listens to the show and comes back and listens every single week. But we don't have a moment with Mogan this week because we are...
you have a different kind of moment with Mogan.
Kind of moment with Mogan. So those of you who are jumping into this and like, why is Mogan putting on temporary tattoos? Well, this is part of our Extra Life rewards that we're doing. So we're still doing stuff for Extra Life because for those who... have either missed our posts on social media or we're not there or missed our stream on last Saturday on November 2nd during Extra Life Day. Extra Life's website was hit by a DDoS attack the morning of. Completely took it down. Insane that somebody would have the gall, the heartlessness, really, to hack a charity
Very
site
eloquent,
on a day.
Jared.
Yeah, thank you. To hack a charity site like that. And so because of that, we were unable to take donations basically all day. Their website
no one was.
Yeah, nobody really was. So it was just a lot of, it just caused a lot of issues. And so by the time they didn't really wind up getting it fixed until like 8 or 9 o'clock. And
it was way late.
Because honestly, it's one of those things because we have a smaller audience and we don't have as big of reach as some of the other, communities and groups that were doing it, we felt like it would be more worth our time to reschedule our Extra Life activities where we could have greater impact. So rather than just streaming, empty room and not able to take
not an empty room, a room that was full of money but unable to throw it.
Couldn't get to, So now, so if you would please like to donate, actually, let me try to find I should have had our link up and ready.
This one's sick.
That one's cool.
This one's pretty sweet.
So part of our Extra Life was for every $15 that we raised, Mogan was going to put on a temporary tattoo. As of now, we're sitting at $431. So she's got to put on 26 more tattoos?
It's 26 today.
26
Technically, I already have on 2.
Right.
One of them already came off,
off,
the one on my neck, but I've already got the one on my bicep
So cool.
there, and there's going to be many more to come. So as soon as they start drying, I'm just going to keep going.
Just keep going. All right, there we have it. So our goal is $1,500. So we still got a little bit to go there, but we're going to keep doing Extra Life activities throughout the rest of the month. And really, you can donate through the rest of the year, I believe. So here's the link to all this. I'm going to throw it into the chat for everybody. And then we'll get on with the rest of our show. So, boom. There's that for everybody. Now, what we want to do, we want to talk about some Patreon updates because
Indeed.
we mentioned it on Saturday, but November 3rd is technically Team Chat's birthday, our anniversary. So we're 2 days past our anniversary. It's our 4th anniversary. We're in our 4th year now.
We are 4 years old.
4 years old.
We're old enough for preschool.
Hell yeah. Let's go to school. But
No, let's not. Don't do it.
Team Chat goes back
We
to
can
school.
save ourselves.
Team Chat goes to pre-K. But no. So because of that, we always try to have a nice refresh or kind of see how we can update things and make things better for the new year to keep making the show bigger and better. And so a lot of that is updating our Patreon goals and rewards because even though we've had them set where it's like you get the audio early, you get the video early, and you get access to the Rogues Gallery channel on our Discord, we kind of feel like we haven't updated those in a very long time.
We can just do more now than we could then.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like we're in a better stride and stuff even to be able to provide these things to everyone even a little bit better. So we've updated some things and we're going to be changing things around. So I want to go over those changes with everybody. So for those of you at a computer, which I know you are because you're watching our live stream.
You don't know
can
that.
head over
They
to
might be at their
Patreon.
mobile phones.
They can still go to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast where you can see all the new tiers and goals that we have set up. So we actually only have one more tier. Right now we used to have a $1 tier and a $5 tier. Now we put a middle tier in there. A $3 tier is there and ready for your enjoyment. So what really changed? Well, not really much until we get to the $5 tier. But so early access, the $1 tier gives you early access to the audio version and gets you access to the patron-only Discord channel, the Rogues Gallery.
Indeed.
The $3 version now gets you the video early and the audio early, and you get access to the patrons-only Discord channel. Now, the new one, and this is really exciting, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and we're really excited to be able to do this new bit of content for everybody. The $5 tier is going to be early access to both the video and audio versions. You're going to get onto that sweet, sweet private Discord channel, the Rogues Gallery, but now we're introducing a new segment, show, whatever you want to call it, called Team Chit Chat that we're going to be starting. This is actually Mogan's idea, and so why don't you introduce what Team Chit Chat's supposed to be?
Yeah, so Jared and I very frequently we get here to our recording studio and we sit around and we just basically shoot the shit.
It's kind of our warm-up.
Yeah, it's kind of a warm-up where we're just kind of talking to each other, and the stuff that we talk about during that time is only sometimes related to video games, and it's like, oh my god, are we actually fully fleshed out people with other hobbies and things that we like to do
And interests and thoughts and ideas.
outside of video games?
Yeah.
So it's basically going to be just a little time that Jared and I get to come to the table and talk about something that is important to us or interesting to us or any of the other categories that has nothing to do with video games.
Right.
So controversially, the topic may include books.
Even though they're for chumps.
Even though they are for chumps. So obviously all of mine will be book burn reviews where I just talk about and I'll bring a different book every time. We're going to set it on fire live. Hope you take the batteries out of your smoke detectors. But basically it could be like Jarrett's love of his many Star Wars figurines.
I already have. Oh yeah.
We'll have to do a tour.
Because I could do a tour of the.
We could do a tour of
the.
them.
That's a great one.
That's a great
That should be our first one,
idea.
actually.
Yeah.
Should be like a tour of.
Oh
the
my god,
studio.
a tour of Jarrett's many Star Wars and other figurines. And then so you get the
$5 extra
idea.
donation makes that happen.
So you get the idea. Basically, it's just going to be approximately 10 to 15 minutes, little bonusodes where we talk about something that we like that isn't in our normal sphere of topics.
Right. Now, for those of you who are like, okay, that sounds really great. The thing about that is, I don't want to or can't supply $5 a month to you guys, which we totally get. The thing about this is we're still going to make this available to the general public, but $5 tier patrons, there we go, that's the word I was looking for, will get access to the episodes 2 weeks before they release. So we're planning right now to start, because we kind of want to do soft launch, not bite off more than we can chew. We're going to do 2 episodes of Team Chit Chat a month. So you will get, the first episode of Team Chit Chat will come up 2 weeks later when the second episode is going out for our patrons. The first episode will go out to general release. So that's going to be kind of release schedule for that. So we're excited about doing that because I think it'll be fun to just, let people interact with us in a little bit more a different way than just talking only about
Yeah,
games.
they'll get to
'Cause, you know,
learn
we got
about-
we got good ideas, we got good opinions.
All new sides of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Sides that
I've
they
already-
didn't want to know about.
I've already got a good one lined up that I'm pretty excited to talk about for one of my team chit chats. Oh, we got a lot of response in here. Ooh, what we got? We got a lot of emotes from the Doodle Abides and Cody. Lots of yeah. I think people like the idea of team chit chat.
Is it that, or are they just that jazzed about my sweet clavicle scorpion?
Damn.
How does that scorpion
That's
look?
tight. That's looking good. I like it.
It's
I
pretty
like
good.
it. So the other thing about Patreon that has been updated is we added some new goals also. So before we only had a $1 goal of getting one
Hey,
patron.
there's nothing wrong with
nothing
that.
wrong with that. But that was basically just like, hey, people like us enough to give us money. That's great. The next one, though, that we're shooting for now is we're now trying to get to $30 a month. And on that one, for a token of our appreciation, because the interest in helping make the show bigger and better, we want to give something back special to the fans in that we're going to create emotes, custom emote packs based off of Team Chat content, so stuff of us and whatever else, Fender, our producer, Kitty, Sam, anybody, anything we want, we're going to make a custom emote pack for our Discord. And then once we are able to hit affiliate status, which is in our planning for Twitch, we'll upload those emotes to there as well. Next, we're going to have our $50 goal, which I'm excited about this one too.
Yeah.
$50 a month. If we are able to fit, Doodlebite says, give me Fender emote. Okay, that will definitely be one for sure.
We're also definitely going to get that dying cow emote that I've been wanting.
Oh, the cow
since
malady?
Cow malady.
Yeah.
I want cow
That one's going to be
malady.
a great one. So $50 a month. If we hit $50 a month on our Patreon, what we're going to do then is we're going to start producing. Again, we're setting the goal slightly like until we understand everything of what it will take. And, you know, again, we don't want to bite off overpromise and underproduce, basically. So what we're doing is we're going to start off with that once we hit $50 of producing a community selected Let's Play of a game. So basically, the patrons and everyone will be able to vote on what game they want us to play, and we will play through the game, edit together a nice highlight Let's Play video of it, and release it to you all. Obviously, patrons will get early access to that before it's released generally to the public. Speaking of Fender, I have to tell him to lay down. He hurt his poor little leg last night, and he is on bed rest.
Donate now to heal Fender.
Fender, you need to stay laying down, Bubba. Okay, he good. And then so we're really excited about that because I think that will be in our goal description as like you can challenge our gaming skills by throwing us a game that you think is going to be really difficult for us. You can laugh at our shenanigans and just, have a lot of fun with that. The next one is going to be our $100 goal. If we get to $100 a month on Patreon, what we're going to start doing is creating then a new series of videos that are basically what they're going to be is very deep dives, like 5 to 10 minutes, kind of in that range, videos on one specific topic. Now, you may be saying, well, that's kind of what the podcast is about, right? Kind of, but it's going to be even more of a deep dive into that. Like we're going to have it'll be like fully produced as far as like recorded gameplay of these games that we'll be adding in. We'll have scripted narration. If we can get interviews with the people who are around the specific topic to talk about that with us, we'll include some of that as well, or sound bites and anything like that. Just it'll be a much more highly produced, think more like a mini doc or a video review, basically, or video breakdown of things like that. That's just to allow us the opportunity to even drill down deeper into these topics that we really want to explore, but not necessarily want to take up the time or feel like we can adequately describe and talk about on the show.
A great example of that isn't serious, but that I am highly likely to do at some point. If you want me to play a game and then rank your waifus, I will happily
That would be
do
one
that
too.
and then make a video about it.
So, and before we hit the $100 goal, the $50 or $100 goal, you might see these types of videos that we're talking about. We might release some of those, but those are more for us to be as tests to further refine it and get it done. So that way, when we do hit those goals, very nice, I like that one. When we do hit those goals, they will be as polished as we can make them, and I'm really excited about that because being a video guy and that's what I do. I'm excited to be able to do that for more gaming content than what I get to do in my normal job. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And we are very, very, very appreciative to all of our patrons who are currently subscribed to us and helping us out with our monthly goals. Another thing about that too, people at the $5 tier, when you sign up for that one too, you get the on-air shout out, but we'll be, we want to make sure that we never take you all for granted and that we show our appreciation for giving us your hard-earned cash, and we appreciate that, and we never want to take that for granted. And so another reason too, just to touch on this, is of why we kind of took that break is just because in this last year, I feel like, and I wanted to, I know I've apologized and said things on it on the Discord before, but I wanted to touch on it again. In this last year, we had things, it was a tough year personally for me, like in everything. And so there was a lot of stuff and that came up that made it very difficult to keep up with the show and the current schedule that we like to hit. So we missed a few weeks being able to get like early access out to patrons and different things like that, or even missed episodes. And so that was part of why we went back in October to kind of build up a backlog. And so that way that doesn't happen. And that's one of those ways that we don't want to take your money for granted that you give us. And so moving forward into year 4, I'm very excited about what we're going to. Oh, that one didn't go on as well.
Shut up. I can
Still looks great.
I'm
Still
saving
looks
it.
great.
I'm saving it.
But still, thank you very much to all of our patrons because the majority of you have been supporting us since day one, and we are greatly appreciative of that. And we're excited to continue to build this and make it better with your help. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And again, it's 4th year. It's a new year. We're doing this again, and I can't possibly do that without giving a big thank you to you as well, Mogan, before volunteering your time and coming in to do this. I know we have fun doing it, and it's a lot of fun putting on the show, but still, you donate your time as much as everyone else.
What you don't know is that you secretly are paying me to be here because
no.
I've been
You're stealing?
consistently stealing for
I'm gonna hide my
4
change jar now.
years.
Just taking a quarter at a time.
I've been taking one Star Wars figurine every time I'm here, but you keep replacing them, so you haven't noticed.
Oh, that's good.
And then I've been selling them on eBay, and I'm making bank. Yeah. Keep it up, bro.
And then, of course, also I have to give a special shout out, of course, to my beautiful bride, Samantha, who is always encouraging me behind the scenes and encouraging us both behind the scenes and helping us in like a lot of different ways.
You know,
through
she
social
does,
media,
yeah.
being a badass on Stardew Valley.
She does a lot more for the show than our producer Fender does.
Yes. Fender just sleeps.
Fender needs to
right now
pull
he needs
his
to be
weight.
sleeping because he needs to let his leg heal. But other than that, so a big thank you to everyone who has had any involvement in the show. We are eternally grateful for all that. But now it's time to jump into the main topic of the day, which did we forget something?
Extra live stream schedule.
Oh, I forgot that as well. So, and our continued Extra Life efforts. The next big one, since we did hit $300, one of our goals for that was we were going to do a playthrough of Dream Daddy. And so the dad dating simulator.
Speaking of waifus.
There we go. We're going to rank our husbandos.
Husbandos.
There we are. So we will be doing our playthrough of a storyline of Dream Daddy. We'll be doing that on this Sunday night, and we're going to be starting that off at 5 p.m. Obviously, twitch.tv/teamchatpodcast. So, and then also we just wanted to catch up on saying thank you to this Friday on November 8th, I'll be doing a stream starting at noon Central Time. Be doing some Modern Warfare, try to go for a couple hours during the day. And then Mogan's going to jump on at 8 o'clock Friday night to do some Hollow Knight or Untitled Goose Game.
It depends on what the people want.
Ooh,
so on Friday night, if you're feeling Hollow Knight, let me know. Alternatively, if you're feeling loosey-goosey, you got to let me know that too. There's got to be...
honk.
Yeah, so that I can honk around and be a goose hole, because that's what he is.
Nice. Very nice. And then, like I said, we'll have the Dream Daddies on Sunday, November 10th at 5 p.m. So then we also wanted to say thank you to all the people who have already donated. We have Lawrence McDaniel, Bro Mogan, Mike.
That's Lawrence McDaniel,
I said that.
sir.
I said Lawrence McDaniel.
Anyways, whatever.
Okay. Bro Mogan, Mikey, Amy, Drag, Deadly Muffin Cat, Zephyr, Bill and Susan, Allie and Cece, Blake, Ron and Angie, Lauren G, and Rachel S. Thank you all for your donations and getting us to the $431 that we're at
Yes,
today.
thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
So now we move on to our main topic, which, as we've talked about before, we're going to be updating our top 10 lists of all time. Last year, we both went through and we went through the painful process.
It was really hard.
It was really hard.
And it was honestly pretty hard again this time.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, I know it's only been a year. Like it was last August when we did these episodes because it was brought on because Game Informer released their top 300 games of all time, which what the hell?
Yeah, that's right.
And we walked through all that and kind of gave our
was
thoughts.
fun.
That was a really fun one. I enjoyed that a lot. And then we wanted to follow that up with, well, where do our favorite games rank and how do they rank? So do you want to start reading off your list from last year?
Thanks, Jared.
I mean,
Thanks.
I was
got
asking
the
you while you
thing
have
on
that.
my
I can do mine first. I
No,
don't mind.
I actually, for once in my life, I have it ready.
Oh,
isn't that crazy?
perfect.
I'm never
Perfect.
ready. Okay, so my top 10 from last year were number 10, Golden Sun. Number 9, Rime, and that's Rime. Number 8 was Overwatch. 7 was Breath of the Wild. 6 was Pikmin 2. Number 5, The Legend of Dragoon. Number 4 was Firewatch. Number 3 was Wind Waker, or excuse me, more formally, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. Number 2 was Life is Strange, the first one. And number 1 was Portal 2.
Very nice. My list from last year, starting at number 10, was Donkey Kong Country. Number 9 is Red Dead Redemption. Number 8 was Doom from 2016. And then we have 7, Far Cry 3. Number 6, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, the one from 2007. And then number 5 is Life is Strange Season 1. Gotta be accurate on that. Season 1.
Season 1.
Season
not
1.
Season
Not Season
2.
2. Then I had Civilization, which I kind of am counting the series in that because I've played 2, 3, 4, and 5. No, 2, 3, 5, and 6 of that game. And it's just been one I've literally played for forever. And it's hard for me to want to be able to actually rank which one is best. Although I was listening today in my iTunes to the soundtrack to Civilization 2. And that soundtrack has songs that like no other. It like one kicks on and I immediately was just like blown back.
I mean, the
by
Civilization
the
series
nostalgia.
in general has astonishing music just overall.
But I mean, like even this is Civilization 2 when it was not as like orchestral and everything as Civ
Back
6
when they
and Civ
didn't have
4.
that kind of
They didn't have
technology.
Christopher Tin composing the amazing Baba Yetu and Sono di Valore.
That's the best song, I think, maybe of all video game time.
Baba Yetu, God,
we
it
should
really
do that
is.
as an episode. Best video game song of all time, like just one.
Just like, oh man.
Oh God, that would be impossible.
That would be so
The
hard. Even though Baba
impossible
Yetu
task.
is obviously already kind of high up
Yeah,
on
it's
that
like
list.
easily in the top 5 minimum.
That soundtrack has songs. Don't say you should call it. Yeah, I just mean it has songs that are good, like really just hit me in the nostalgia and just made me be like, oh my God,
She
like
burned you.
She got me good on that one. But and then I have number 3 is Star Wars Dark Forces, and then number 2 Horizon Zero Dawn. Also, which is now heavily confirmed, or not heavily confirmed, but rumored to be now true that Guerrilla is working on a sequel for it because they posted job postings for it. So Horizon 2, I'm excited. And then number 1 game of all time, if anyone didn't already know, The Last of Us.
Obviously.
Obviously.
And I'm having to talk a little louder right now.
It's okay, I got you.
Because I'm attempting to put a couple of matching tattoos on the backs of my calves.
Ooh.
So they're going to look really sweet when they're done. So just bear with me for a hot second.
How many more you got? Quite a bit. Okay, so we'll be doing this for a while. Doodle Abide says, pretty soon Dream Daddy will be both your number 1. I hope so. I've been very excited to play this game for a very long time. So I'm hoping that'll be a fun one for us all. So
I'm starting to look pretty good.
I know it's you got quite the
So far, so good.
collection going on right now. So we wanted to talk about these games and more because now a whole year has gone by. Where do these games sit now? Like does your ranking hold up? Have you played any new ones that you want to introduce into this list, and which ones are going to go away?
Yeah, so when I was reviewing my list from last time, honestly, at least with 2 games for sure, maybe 3 of them, I looked at them not just as them themselves, but also their place in the list. And part of me was absolutely like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, and that's honestly kind
I
of
mean,
like
it
one of these
wasn't with the
that I'm
majority
looking
of
at
them, but a
too.
few of them I was like, why did I put that one there? And my thinking is that at least with 1, 2, and really kind of 3 of my old ones, they were at that time much newer to me. So I still had kind of like the high of like, oh, I kind of semi-recently finished these games, within the past year to 2
Right,
years.
right.
So some of mine were just newer to me, and that's why they made the list. The ones that have stayed, obviously, are the kinds of games that have a lot of holding power. So definitely there are still a few nostalgia picks on here, but overall, most of my list has more or less stayed the same with a few notable shakeups. Some big ones.
I'm excited. So what's one that's going away?
So one that's going away is definitely Rime. What was I thinking? Like, to be fair, I love that game, and when I finished it, it's very emotional. It's a very well done kind of journey through the emotions surrounding. I don't want to give too much away just in case somebody hasn't played it.
Right.
So I'll just say it's a very emotional journey set up as kind of like a mix between an adventure game with some very, very light 3D platforming elements. It's more so a bit of like an adventure puzzle game. And even then, the puzzle elements are still also kind of light. So in terms of difficulty, it's not a hard game.
Right.
It's also not what most people would consider to be a AAA game, so it had a bit of stuttering. You know, every now and then you would encounter something that was a little wonky. But the artistic styling of Rime is wonderful. It's just not top 10 material, even though I did bawl my eyes out at the end of that game, like to the extent where I was wearing my glasses at the time and there were tears on the inside of my glasses lenses because I was like trying to blink the tears away so hard, but there were so many and they just couldn't be kept in that I was just like, blah, like I just lost it hysterically. And I bet I would lose it again if I played it again. So I think it's a really good game, but it definitely doesn't, it's not on there anymore. I'll just go on ahead and say.
Okay. So what would be so let me see. One that I replaced. So that was your number.
So my number 9 was Rime. So the two that have kind of moved around a bit are Golden Sun has gained a spot.
Ooh.
So previously Golden Sun was my number 10, but now it's my number 9. So you want to guess what's in that number 10 slot? I bet you can. I bet you can guess. I believe in you, buddy.
Okay, wait. Is it a game that's already on there?
No, it's actually a newer game.
New game that
you
you're
can
putting on.
definitely get it. Also, these tattoos kind of hurt.
It hurt.
No, not really, but it's like I'm starting to feel.
You feel like your skin's
like
like
my skin feels
scrunching
very
in?
tight. I'm scrunching in.
I gotta say,
You got this, buddy.
okay, Fuchsia says Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Ooh, no. It's
not out yet.
It's not out yet, Fuchsia.
Octopath
But
Traveler?
a noble guess. No, but
Ooh.
also a very noble guess, and
Okay.
it almost. You know what?
Does
We'll
it
just
make
say
it?
it's a noble guess.
Okay, it's a noble guess. So you've played it within the last year.
If Fuchsia says it's out in my heart. Also, somebody else guessed Hollow Knight, and that is also not correct.
Oh. I'm drawing a blank.
Stardew Valley.
Oh!
Stardew Valley cracked
guessed.
that list. So when I was looking at, both originally and this time around, when you're looking at games that you think warrant being a top 10,
Right.
a big part of that, and this is also true for Breath of the Wild, which I'll just say is still on the list, but I think it's moved its spot a little bit. Oh, actually, it has not. It is still at number 7. Never
Okay.
mind. Stardew Valley and Breath of the Wild kind of both get the all clear from me for being top 10 material in terms of their astonishing ability to grab you and ferociously hold on for a significant period of time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my obsession level with Breath of the Wild when it came out was profound and very strong for months. Eventually, I did kind of burn myself out on it, and that was 100% my fault. But Stardew Valley and Breath of the Wild, I think Stardew Valley may have eclipsed it at this point, but I've easily put in over 200 hours.
Wow.
I think I've put in maybe 180 for Breath of the Wild
Okay.
and over 200 for Stardew Valley. So what kind of game would you play for over 200 hours that wasn't top
Right, that
10
wasn't good,
material,
yeah.
right? So Stardew Valley is, first of all, a feat of human astonishment because it's made by one guy.
Cody actually called Stardew before he said it.
Yeah, he did. Good for you, Cody.
Nice, Cody.
You
Good
did
guess.
it. So he's right, of course. Stardew Valley is made and published by one guy.
Yeah.
And it's a low key kind of game in that it's very pixelated, it's very old school style, but none of the gameplay feels old school. It feels very sophisticated and astonishingly in depth, considering that there's just one person behind the scenes there. In terms of your ability to manage your resources, add resources, romance your neighbors and friends, and basically get into hijinks and trouble and even go on some adventures. Stardew Valley has something I very strongly feel for everyone.
Yeah.
And everybody that says like, oh, I don't like farming simulator or resource games. It's like, you know what? You can shove a sock in your mouth, sit on this couch, and I will just put it in your hands and you will play it and you will love it, as evidenced by everyone that has played it.
Well, I mean, we were talking before we started. that we played Stardew for the first time because of Extra Life last year. It was our $600 milestone goal that we were going to play and review Stardew Valley.
Good choice on our part.
It was a great
and we
choice.
didn't even realize it.
And,
Oh, I'm getting
and
a
thank you
cramp.
for all the people who were who suggested it to us, because I think it was Fuchsia and Brandon and a few other people.
Oh yeah, smart people
know,
that we trust.
Yeah, they were the ones saying like, you guys need to play this, and we finally did. The light shone upon us, and we've never looked back.
Yeah, we finally understood.
I haven't, and then it even translated into Sam loving it too, and which you all got to see the benefits of that.
Drama
on our stream.
queen.
She made 10 million gold.
She did. She
in
broke
the
that
game.
10 mil mark
in her bank, not total collected. I think that's like 14 million or
Oh
something
my
like
God,
that. But
she's
in
so
her bank at
rich.
one time is 10 million.
She's astonishing.
She's insane, and she's
oh,
great
and
at
she
it.
also forgot her wife's birthday. Even
Yeah,
though
we were
on
supposed to
stream
remind
she
her.
said she wasn't going to forget her wife's birthday, she did.
But there we go. But yeah, so Stardew Valley, great game, and that one now is sitting in at your number 10.
So it made the number 10 slot, which honestly was a real struggle because I really considered putting it higher than that. But the other games on the list have a little bit more emotional tie to me.
Little more
I play Stardew just because it's fun and
It's a
because
great game to
it's
just
a great game to
unwind.
relax. Exactly. I don't play it for the story.
Yeah.
So all of the other games on my list have something else that gives them just a little bit more of an edge.
Mm-hmm.
But Stardew absolutely believes to be a top 10 game.
Very nice. So let me see. What am I looking at here? One that I think is going to go away. And honestly, I think it's just going to go away due to the fact that I know it's one that holds a special place in my heart. And just because
Knights of the Old Republic?
no.
That other one that you talk about that I can't remember the name of?
Dark Forces?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually considering that one being the one that goes away. And it was in my number 3. But it's one of those things,
That's quite a drop, good sir.
well, and that's what I'm trying to decide. And as we talk through this more, because and that's what I'm hoping the good people on chat can kind of help us talk through some of this stuff, because it's hard. It's hard to cut one of these old games, especially one that that game came out in 95, something like that. It's been around for a while, and I've been playing it for a while. And the thing is it's the first person shooter game I played. It's one of the very first Star Wars games I played. And as you obviously know, I love Star Wars. That obviously kicks it up 10 billion notches. But I got to make room somewhere in there, even though I haven't played it yet, but I'm eagerly awaiting it, and the hype train can't be stopped. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is coming out, and I might need another Star Wars game to replace it in that top 3.
might.
But it's one of those things I'm trying to decide as I've played a lot of games, because Battlefront 2, good guess, but no. But it's just as I play these games, I feel like nostalgia alone can't hold a game in its ranking for me. I feel like as you need to make room for more games in your heart, just as things come across that you play, and you're just feeling like this one, it's a great game. It's one I enjoy going back and playing through every once in a while. It's one I would like to it's been a while since I've played it. Oh,
Put this in your hand.
am I supposed to do this on your shoulder now? On your back
Yes.
shoulder? Okay.
Hang on. All right, but keep talking.
Okay.
You're doing great.
So anyway, I think that one is honestly going to have to go, and I think it's just gonna be. But now here's what I can't decide is because the other game that I'm considering, that's strongly being considered taking it away, even though I just talked about it and praised how good of a game it was not too long ago, is Donkey Kong Country for similar reasons.
Wait, you're thinking about removing Donkey Kong
It's
Country?
my number 10.
Oh,
And so,
really? It was your number 10?
It was my number 10 because it was a lot of nostalgia at that point. I did play through it in this last year, just talk about it on our platformers. But it was one of those things. It's another great, outstanding game. It has,
more pressure.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, there we
go. It
go.
has a lot of really great exploration. The graphics and the as I'm talking through it now, because what we talked about on there, it might actually still stay at number 10, just because it does have a lot of great aspects for even an early game, because it did have the new the 3D sprites, the 3D animated that then were made 2D, that makes it a technological marvel for the time. Check it.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Obviously, the great soundtrack composed by David Wise. It had some great exploration and some secrets to find. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good one. And so I just think it has a lot of stuff that you can to explore and do in that game, even for one as old as it is. So I think as I'm talking through it, actually, Donkey Kong Country is going to stay. But I think for now,
You just had to talk it out.
I did.
You just
I
had to
talk
say
it
those
out. I can
words
look at
out
these
loud.
names all day on my list, but I just until you get into the nitty gritty and talk it out. But also because I did just finish and complete a game of. Oh wait, Cody says never played a Donkey Kong game. I somehow missed the boat completely on those. They're fantastic games. Like I honestly
Yeah.
like the original is great, even up to the most recent one, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze on the Switch. Oh my god, I love that game.
Now, that being said, I wouldn't blame him for having missed them because I feel like if you didn't own a Nintendo console back in the day,
Yeah.
it's highly likely that you would have missed them because there really aren't that many of them, honestly,
Well, there
in
was-
comparison to Mario, for example, of which there are
tons of different Mario games, tons of different Mario spin-offs. And I only became acquainted with Donkey Kong Country due to my cousin who had it, but because I didn't have an SNES growing up.
It's a
And my
SNES!
SNES, sorry, and my cousin did, and that's where I played it every once in a while, periodically. But now it's been just like it was even more that like I've said, I played it more than Mario. So Donkey Kong was kind of my Mario to other people, and so I think for that, just talking through this, no, I can't get rid of it. But I do have to say, to replace the number 3 slot of Dark Forces, I have to move up Civilization because I've recently, since I've been
it's gaining spaces.
because since I just have been playing Civilization 6 on the PC, and then I bought it on the Switch, which let me tell you, that was a mistake because that was my Stardew Valley. It's the one that I spend just hours in. What am I doing now?
I don't think they can see it, but there
Oh,
you
the
go.
Scorpion. Okay, and then so I think Civilization has to move up into that slot because it's just one that I've consistently played for so much. It's not so much a nostalgia only. It's just a great game that has fit within my interests for years. And so because it's, even though it's not technically accurate history, it's all built around that.
History isn't accurate in any video game, period.
Right.
None of them.
It's still like one that, it's always scratched my itch to keep my interest in history alive. And as I've played through it more and understood the game more and really dug down more into its levels as I've gotten older, the game just continues to get better and better. And so recently I actually just beat a game. I think I talked about this. Oh, I actually talked about this maybe on one of our pre-recorded episodes that we did back in October for our backlog. But I actually just recently completed a scientific victory on Civ 6 at like the mid-range difficulty level, which I'd never done before. Any time I've ever won a Civilization game in any of the previous iterations has always been domination because I'm just a damn warmonger and I just want to kick
You
everybody's
really need to
ass.
branch out into peace, good sir,
Well,
which
that's
you're
what I did.
finally doing.
Actually, in that game, everybody else in the whole world attacked me. The last 5 turns, literally every other country in the world turned on me and declared war because they knew I was going to win.
Wow.
But so I was like, it was one of the best played games I've ever done, Civilization, and I know that kind of makes it a little fresh. But for the longevity that I've consistently played Civilization, it has to sit in my
Yeah, and that's makes perfect sense. Obviously, the kind of games that it's always been unusual to me that Civilization technically only has 6 installments.
7. It had one spinoff, I believe, Beyond Earth. That was set in space.
It feels like for a game that's been around for so long, there would be more, because when you compare the 6 civilizations plus one bonus one to the 10,000 Calls of Duties
Yeah.
and the FIFAs
but that's
that don't deserve
That
new
speaks
versions.
to the power of Civilization and
It
how
does.
of an in-depth, detailed game that it is. Gandhi is always the tyrannical conqueror, right? Absolutely. Every time I see Gandhi, I'm just scared he's going to start nuking everybody in the game because one time in the game he just started rolling all over everybody with war elephants, and it was a terrible massacre. It's terrible. Still have flashbacks.
He pulled that Hadrian. No, wait, it's not Hadrian. Who's the guy that crossed
Hannibal.
the Italian? Hannibal. He pulled that
See?
Hannibal.
History.
Yeah, but I don't play Civilization.
That's
I
fine.
just happen to be a big fan of elephants.
Majestic
I don't
creatures.
have any elephant tattoos.
Oh no. There's a lion.
Where should I put this cute little chameleon?
Hmm.
Oh, wait, quick poll for the chat.
Quick poll for the chat.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Should I put this tiny black heart with a little skull in it on my face? Or this tiny black skull with horns?
That kind of looks like Hollow Knight.
Isn't this cute? It looks a little bit like Hollow Knight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so black heart with a little normal skull in it, or black skull with little tiny horns on it that kind of looks like Hollow Knight to go under one of my eyes.
Okay, we got one for horns.
Okay.
Also, Cody says Hannibal eats people.
All right, one for fake Hollow Knight. Okay,
Hannibal Lecter.
excellent. It's not the same one.
No, it's not.
Man, I do feel
2
bad
for Hollow
for
Knight.
fava beans having gotten
fava beans
such
are
a
a nice cat.
bad. Gross.
Yep.
Also, that can't sound good in the mics.
Oh, I'm sure it sounds great. People are like, oh, that's soothing.
Horny
Three
skull.
horny skulls. Okay. So,
All right, I'm peeling off the paper.
all right, we're just going to go ahead and
Here
call,
we go.
call
We're
it the
gonna
horny
call it.
skull. So, what would be then a game you're adding?
So, a couple of other shakeups in my list, and I actually may have done this one live, and I just didn't record it on my notes.
Okay.
But re-looking at my top 10 from last year, I had to have done it live because I feel like I remember it. I replaced number 8, Overwatch. I straight up replaced it, so it's actually no longer on the list at all. I subbed it out for Metroid Prime because Metroid Prime is a game that
Solid
I
choice.
have loved for since as long as I've played it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so many extremely strong and fond memories of playing that game over and over again. Of course, it came out on the GameCube eons ago. The GameCube was really one of our first family consoles beyond the PlayStation 1. And it was revolutionary for me. That's where I played Wind Waker. That's where I played Pikmin. That's where I played Metroid Prime, like some of the biggest formative games of my gamerdom.
Right.
And Metroid Prime as a series, you know, Primes 1, 2, and 3 to a lesser extent. I think people really love 3, but I only really played 1 and 2. It's considered a classic for really good reason. It came out at the exact same time as Halo, which kind of, I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, like the IGNs and the Game Informer magazines were like, which first person shooter will win the year, Metroid Prime or Halo? And like they were neck and neck, which is really interesting because they are such different experiences.
Right.
Halo is a first person shooter that kind of has some maybe very light adventure elements to it.
Lay down, bub.
He's just going to the closet.
I know, but he needs to be still. Lay down. Good boy.
He's working
Good
on
boy.
it. Poor Fender.
Good boy.
But it's really not even comparable because Metroid Prime is just so different. I'm not even saying that Metroid Prime is technically better than Halo, even though it 100% is. For different reasons. It had such a fantastic blend of great first-person single-player elements, amazing graphics and sound effects and environment for its time. You know, they may or may not have held up that well to nowadays, but at the time it was revolutionary. The things that you would see and like the way that the environment would affect the interior of your helmet, and the combat is amazing.
Well, I
so
remember-
everything about Metroid Prime is 10 out of 10.
That's one of the games I remember for GameCube because again, one, I didn't play that much, but I still remembered seeing like what's the big forgive me because I'm not very knowledgeable on the Metroid Prime series, but the big
Ridley.
no, not the dragon. The big insectoid, like one of the very early bosses in Metroid Prime.
Oh.
Like a big insect like in a
Oh,
tank.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's not actually one of the Metroids, which are like the little jellyfish.
Right.
You mean the big thing
It's
that
like a big thing. It's like I remember
I
it
know
being
what
like
you're
this huge
talking about,
tank.
but I don't remember what it's
I
called.
just somebody saying Kraid,
Sure, that sounds right.
if that's right.
I mean,
Oh
we
wait,
don't-
Parasite Queen.
Parasite
That might be
Queen.
it. I think it's
Okay.
Parasite Queen. But anyway, I remember seeing that over at a buddy's house, and he was playing that, and that part happened, and I remember being like, "Oh my god, these graphics, insane!" To the
Insane.
membrane.
And that was a great fight at the beginning where you are escaping a burning ship. Because I think you were, how's my skull look?
Oh, it looks so good.
Does it look sick?
It looks
how's
like
my,
Hollow Knight.
How's my pineapple,
Pineapple
look?
looks really
Yeah,
good too.
Cool. When you're escaping this burning ship and you're trying to like get out and you're chasing down the hunters at the same time, of course you have the classic thing happen where Samus gets direly injured and her armor gets super downgraded to like her most basic armor. She loses all of her power-ups, and then from there the game follows what most people would consider like a classic format of, oh man, you lost all your shit, now you have to go get all of your power-ups back.
Right.
And that process of getting all of your power-ups back, even though it's a little trite, it never gets old to me. I will always love that of like, oh man, look at what a badass I'm becoming again.
Yeah.
And as a protagonist, Samus is just, you know, revolutionary to me because when she takes off her helmet at the end of the game, looking over the burning rubble of the world that she has saved, and she's just like this giant Amazon woman, you're like, oh my god, she's so much better than fucking Master Chief. That guy blows. Samus Aran is better than Master Chief. I'll say it. And anyone that doesn't agree can fight me.
See, and that's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. If we can get to the $100 Patreon reward tier or the $100 a month goal in there, we can make a deep dive video of why Samus Aran is better than Master Chief.
I mean,
versus comparing their two attributes.
Would you
Really
want to
deep
fight
diving.
me knowing that I have this many tattoos?
God, I'd be scared.
Yeah, you'd be scared, right?
Shaking in
if
my
you
boots.
saw me at a bar, you'd be like, "Whoa,
She's got 2 face tattoos.
is that woman
One's
wearing?"
a pineapple, one's a horn skull. I'm kind of feeling like she's a human embodiment of a Sour Patch Kid.
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kid. First she's sweet, then
Then she's
sour.
sour.
So I would be
That's funny.
terrified to fight her. Gotta say it.
I will debate the topic. Very well
Ooh,
then.
There we go. See, we can get a good debate episode going. We haven't done a good debate episode since the PS4 versus Xbox One episode we did way back
God,
when.
was that even a debate? I feel like now it's not. Oh, but it was Xbox One,
It was
right?
Xbox One.
Oh, well, no, that doesn't even matter. Never
I mean,
mind.
a lot's
I was thinking
changed now.
OG Xbox.
It could be, you know, we could go about it again, but that would be a good one. Oh, and then I guess we talked about Uncharted, which was somewhat of a
my
debate
God.
where I was trying to talk about the things I liked about it. And
That was still a good episode,
it
and
was a great
still one
episode.
of the few that we have that's got downvotes on YouTube.
because we create such quality content,
Create
just
such
don't get those down.
so divisive.
So I'm going to talk now about one that I'm going to be adding to my list. So this is going to go. I'm going to start back from one that's being removed and one that's being added. So I'm going to go down to. I'm going to keep my number 10. Still going to be Donkey Kong Country. Cody says Metroid Prime trilogy versus original Halo trilogy. That would be a great video to do or debate to do too.
Indeed.
Episode. We'll
Would
keep
have to-
that in the. Put a pin in it.
In the
So
tank.
number 10 is still going to stay Donkey Kong Country, as we've already talked about. Number 9, I am still going to keep. Yes, I'm still going to keep
What was your number 9?
Red Dead Redemption, the first one.
Oh, the first one. Okay,
First
fair
one.
enough.
Although I will say, in retrospect, and I know I haven't done like a full review breakdown on my thoughts of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Have you really still not?
Not yet.
You even have the hat,
I know.
and you have a
I know.
mustache.
I've got
What are you
plans for it.
doing? Okay.
We're gonna get there. But still, the more I think back on that game, the more it grows, in my opinion. But that was also one I don't think I could in good conscience put it into my top 10 list without potentially another playthrough. And honestly, the first Red Dead should require another playthrough as well. But I just connected so well to the characters, to that character and the world and just the story of it. And for, even though it's 2009, I think is when that came out. Like, even though
2000 and late.
or maybe it was later than that. I don't remember. It's 2000, either 2009, 2010. Nice reference.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, pow.
Boom, boom, pow.
And so, but like it was one of the first games that that I remember playing that was truly one of these huge, massive open world games. And I just immediately fell in love with that genre, the characters of John Marston and the other people that you meet in that world. And it was just fantastic.
And
on so
yet
many
you
levels.
won't play Breath of the Wild.
You know,
That's a topic for another
it's a topic
time.
for another day, another debate. Red Dead versus Breath of the Wild. But still, though, I will say, looking back at it, Red Dead 2 is growing, and I'm starting to appreciate more of what it did offer. But we'll get into that in another day. 8 is still going to. My number 8 is still going to stay at Doom 2016. But number 7 is where the change comes into play, which I'm going to be removing from my list. Far Cry 3.
Oh, good.
I
Okay.
liked that game. Great open world again. But the main reason why I love that game is the villain Voss. Incredible villain. One of the best villains that I feel like I've
You've
played
talked
against.
about good
in-
Servos before.
Exactly. In video game history, in the video games that I've played, I've really enjoyed my going up against old Voss, and his definition of insanity monologue that he gives you is incredibly good.
Tell me how much space I have right here.
You have enough for a little one.
Okay, I've got a turtle.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that'll
Yeah,
fit
okay,
there.
the turtle will go there.
And so that game though, I like I said, love Voss, love all that stuff about it. But another game came up within the last year that again is one that I connected with more emotionally.
Ooh,
And
really?
I think it had a very good message and a very good goal behind the reason why the game was made.
So this is a pure new game.
New game. I mean,
Ooh.
new to us.
New to us. And new to your list.
And new to my list.
Ooh, and it's emotional, and you
It's
feel like
emotional.
it had a good goal.
It was a shorter one.
A shorter one. Ooh. What could it be? Guacamole?
No, not Guacamole.
The quest for the
Great game,
perfect
though.
guacamole? I would understand that.
You played it too.
I played it too.
And we did a joint review.
We did? Oh, God. Why am I blanking on it? Did I like it?
Yes. We both
Oh, my
loved it.
God. And it's okay, so it can't be Hollow Knight because you didn't play Hollow Knight. It's not Stardew because we already talked about. Wait, it is Stardew.
No, it's not
No,
Stardew.
okay, it's not. Oh,
Stardew's
Jesus.
great, but it's not enough to get onto my top
We
10.
both played. It's not Life is Strange.
Chat, we need those.
Wait, is it Life is Strange?
No, Life is Strange
Oh.
though. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Cody says Firewatch. No, it's not Firewatch. Still haven't got around to Firewatch.
I played Firewatch,
Right,
but
And it's on your list, right?
yeah, it was on my list last time. Ooh, what replaced it? I have
Fuchsia's
no.
guessing Life is Strange. I am. Let me see. I moved Life is Strange up. It's now my number 4 game. It was my number 5, and it moved up to number 4.
Congratulations, Life. So
Because
I
honestly, it was rewatching Fuchsia's streams of when she was playing
That
through
made
episode
you
1,
re-love it?
and I saw like the key moments, like at the discussions with Max and what's the girl? In episode
Victoria?
2? No,
Oh.
the Kate.
yes.
The like conversation in Kate's dorm room. I was just like incredible. But like, and so just going back and seeing parts of that game that I had forgotten about just cemented even more in my mind how great that game is and how much that one needs to
So Cody guessed Gone Home,
Not Gone
which
Home
only
either.
I've played.
Okay.
So it can't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm literally blanking on it.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Okay,
Right?
that makes perfect
Based on
sense.
Logan's reaction.
That makes perfect sense.
Outstanding
I
game.
get it. Yeah.
That game, development Ninja Theory, it's just the goal behind it was just to shed light on the struggles with mental illness and everything. And I feel like the game did it incredibly well, feeling through the depiction of Senua and her struggles with self-doubt, wanting to give up, feeling overwhelmed and pressured and just like and oppressed by the world around her on her quest to save her love. And it just, how they designed that game, it's short. It was 8 to 10 hours.
It's an achievement in art.
Yes.
I mean, for sure, it's
Oh,
an achievement
absolutely.
in art and
As
storytelling.
we've
It
talked
does a
about,
phenomenal
the sound
job
design
of
of that
both.
game is incredible. It's like how they talked about they had that 3D microphone set up where they had the Furies, these like voices that are constantly talking through to you in your game. It's like it shows in this making of video that comes with the game. You should really watch it. Like it's like 18, 20-minute documentary about the making of the game. But it shows footage in there of the actors doing the Furies walking up and like talking past the mic and like moving all the way around it as they're talking and doing their lines. And if you like, you have to play the game with headphones.
You gotta
Don't try
play
to
it
play
with
it on
headphones.
stereo.
No.
Just over speakers, because it's just everything about it. The puzzles that you have to solve, the bosses you have to fight, the character design in general is great because it's based off of Norse Scandinavian mythology. Again, the sound design is excellent. Story is excellent. There's a section in there. I don't want to go into too much detail because a lot of people in the chat are saying that they need to play it, that they want to play it. And
We don't
want to
spoil
We
too
don't want
much.
to spoil it. But there's this one section where you have to do these various trials that even for a game, they figured out ways to eliminate your senses.
Yeah. And
And it
that
was
was
incredibly
intense.
well done.
That was incredibly well done.
So Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice definitely hits.
Plus,
my
it
number
gave
8.
all new emo and goth kids a bunch of new names to choose from on their fanfiction.net profiles. Oh, wait, I think the young people are actually using AO3 nowadays.
Oh, I don't
I've
know what
shown
they're
my age. Are you kidding me? Velravin 420, blaze it.
Valravn was the best, but we'll let
He was the best part for me.
Other people, you need to experience that on your own. So yeah, definitely Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. That fills my top 8 spot, replacing Far Cry 3. So what's your next?
I lost a tattoo. Okay,
no.
I recovered it, though.
Okay.
I recovered it.
What's the next one?
I'm really starting to itch.
I bet. Like
This is a little uncomfortable.
yeah.
I'm going to keep it on, though. I'm going to power through everybody. Okay, so we did have a little bit of shakeup in the mid-ground for me, but they are all games that you would have seen previously on my list. So Breath of the Wild maintained its spot at number 7. Again, I kind of wanted to potentially lower it or even remove it from the list because I still have the continuing problems of I feel like in terms of story, it is much lighter on the story beats than most other Legend of Zelda games, but in terms of gameplay, how many hours I put into it and how much genuine wonder and enjoyment I got out of that game, it deserves its spot.
Nice.
Number 6 is a slight change, but perhaps a significant one. The Legend of Dragoon dropped 1 spot.
Oh my goodness.
So 6 is now Legend of Dragoon.
Okay.
And it's because I had to make some room in the early ground for a couple of other changes. So that means that number 5 is actually a slight gain. I did a bit of a swap here. Number 5 is now Pikmin 2.
Oh.
So previously they were just switched around. I decided to move Pikmin 2 up because it manages to do something that very few other games have ever done in terms of making real-time strategy and kind of difficult resource management, both incredibly fun, engaging, easily manageable, and also adorable.
Right.
I mean, Pikmin 2 has everything that I could ever want from a game. It is in many ways a perfect game. I just couldn't put it a little bit higher for, different story reasons. It is another one that's a bit light on story, but it's an amazing game that has held up astonishingly well. And that holding up to time is really kind of what nudged it out in terms of swapping it with The Legend of Dragoon. The Legend of Dragoon has held up terribly over time. It's a PlayStation 1 game. If people went back and tried to play it now, they would not like it. But it's still a great game. And it's so much better than most of the Final Fantasies. I know, I'm sorry, Bro Mogan. But it's still on there, and it still deserves its spot. But Pikmin 2 has held up incredibly well over time. It's a GameCube-era game. It was considered relatively niche. The Pikmin series is actually not that well known. It's not one of those Nintendo titles where you say, oh yeah, Pikmin's my favorite Nintendo game. And most people will be like, oh yeah, Pikmin. It's really only a few people that are like, I love, and then they're diehards for Pikmin. So Pikmin 2 has made a couple of gains, followed by a little bit of other changes in the front end there, because Firewatch, which was previously number 4, that's one of the ones where I looked at that and I went, I put that one at number 4.
You were just like, it was great.
But it just wasn't number 4 material, and now it's not in the top 10 at all. So I do love Firewatch, but much like Rhyme, I just don't know what I was thinking. Like, why did I put it there? So number 4, Firewatch, has been removed, and Life is Strange has lost 1 spot as well. No, it lost 2 spots.
Oh my.
Because previously Life is Strange was number 2, and now it's number 4. So my top 3 are a little bit different now. And we'll get to those soon.
All right. So, moving back over to my list, the next big adjustment from last year's list. So, number 6 is still going to say Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the one from 2007. My change, though, comes at number 5. Because, like I said, Life is Strange moved up to number 4 since I removed Dark Forces. Life is Strange, Civilization each moved up a slot. What do you want to guess could potentially be my number 5? Again,
your number 5?
It's a game that I have. It took me a while to complete.
Tropical Freeze.
No.
Damn it! I thought I had it.
No.
It's not Red Dead 2.
Again. No, it's not Red Dead 2.
It took you a while to complete.
It took me a while to complete it. We went back and forth to it, but then finally powered through to talk about it in a recent episode. I mean, recent now being a few months back, but.
Okay, I don't think it's the Pedro game, but I think I'm kind of. Is it Katana Zero?
No.
Damn it.
Got
a
some
recent
guesses?
one.
Oh no, we don't have guesses. People keep guessing. We need that chat guess.
Gosh, okay. One that you went back to.
Again.
Assassin's Creed?
That was actually okay. So I will say some honorable mentions for this list that I was while people are trying to think of other guesses for this one. Okay, God of War. Cody guessed that one. It is not actually God of War.
That's a good guess. I didn't think of that.
God of War, I loved. I did really enjoy that game. Story was great. Performances were amazing.
Christopher Judge.
So
my husbando for life.
Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn is still my number 2.
Ooh.
So that one's still staying the same at number 2.
Horizon is still on there, and God of War 4 isn't.
It isn't. Because God of War 4, I really enjoyed it. I felt... in that one, I more enjoyed for the story. I love the combat as well, but there's also still a lot to that game that I need to finish up and wrap up. I mean, the story's done, but it's more of like just more of the completion areas things. Like there are a couple, like the one like challenge areas that I still need to go through. I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed my time with it, but it still wasn't one for me that necessarily grabbed me story-wise and everything in the exact same way as like The Last of Us or Horizon Zero Dawn did.
I feel
so
like
that's
I
why
heard
it's not quite there.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah.
No, not Red Dead 2 either.
I give up. I don't know what it is. Wait, is it on Nintendo? Guacamelee.
Oh, but no, but
Damn
you saying Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Origins is also another one that almost made my top 10 after this update. But no, so my number 5 game is Ori and the Blind Forest.
What a worthy successor.
Yes.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes.
Oh, that warms my very bones and heart.
Fortnite? Nope, not Fortnite. Ori and the Blind Forest. Again, it's one that I talked about earlier this year when we were doing our series on platformers. Ori and the Blind Forest honestly blew me away for how much emotional attachment I got to that game
With
and its
so
story
little, right?
for it being a platformer. For me, platformers, and I know people like there are great platformers out there, and there are other great ones other than Ori and the Blind Forest. But for the most part, I enjoy platformers more for the gameplay and like the challenges they provide,
And the
not
gameplay is
necessarily
so
the
crisp.
story. But Ori and the Blind Forest delivered 100% on both story and gameplay, and for that, it has to be in my top 10.
And 12 out of 10 for soundtrack, right?
Oh God, yes.
Phenomenal. Gareth Coker, right?
Yep, Gareth Coker. It's going to be insane.
What a
And that's
beautiful
why,
soundtrack.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps is by far one of my most anticipated games for next year.
The Doodle Abide says, wait, you mean Ori and the Rivals of Aether character, right? Ori did make it into Rivals of Aether, which is like a
I did not know
indie,
that.
it's an indie fighting game.
Oh, really?
And they put Ori in as like DLC.
That's
And
awesome.
it's like, I don't think this is right for him. He's a pacifist boy.
Cody says Rivals of the Blind Forest.
Rivals of the Blind Forest. There we go.
That's good.
The
But no.
Blind Forest of Aether.
The art style of that game is also beautiful. It's just
so
one of the
unique.
most unrivaled platforms I've
Yeah.
ever played.
Get it on Rivals of Aether.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Ori and Shovel Knight.
I haven't played Shovel Knight. Oh, Ori and Shovel Knight were both
Yeah, they both
Characters in
made
that
it
game.
into.
I see.
Oh, that line almost didn't go. That was a close call.
close. I almost thought I messed up your butterfly, but I
Oh
didn't.
no, don't
It looks
worry.
great.
I'll preserve the butterflies.
Shovel Knight's another one I've been curious about playing too because I've heard a lot of great things about that, and but I just haven't got around to it yet.
You know, Shovel Knight is actually a platformer that you can play co-op.
Oh, really?
Me and
That'd
you
be
could
a
play it
great
together.
Let's play.
That would be a great, nice, cool new thing that we could do together if
That's
we
true.
get up to blank amount of whatever per month that I forget.
$50.
There we go.
Community choice.
Where should I put
Let's play.
these sweet wings?
Fender, you gotta lay down, bub. He's laying down right behind you, so please don't.
Good
step on his leg.
dog. I'm gonna.
Bye, Fuchsia. She's gonna set up her green screen. Ooh.
All right, have fun with your super cool green
That's
screen.
fun. That's fun to get to play. with
Gamer
new toys.
times,
Woohoo!
yeah.
Okay, so I think that's really the big changes to mine. What did you have? Oh, you had changes to your top 3, right?
Yes,
All right,
I
hit me
had
with
some
those.
momentous changes to my top 3, so I'm just going to have to awkwardly hold this tattoo right above my kneecap for now. So my top 3, I'm basically just going to kind of say them because 2 of them are mainstays and 1 of them is an upstart. Number 3 is now Wind Waker.
Okay.
Again, that one is largely a nostalgia pick, but in terms of Legend of Zelda games, I feel like it's one of the most pure examples out there. It still did new things for what it had available to it. It took some risks in terms of styling and art direction, while still being a phenomenal game. And it still has a lot of staying power, and you can go back and play that game today, the GameCube version,
Right.
and still get a lot out of it. It deserved its remake on the Wii U. Honestly, it probably deserves a remake on the Switch too, or even just a port of the Wii U version. I'd take anything to get it again. Number 2 is now Portal 2.
Oh,
So Portal 2
2 was your number
lost us.
1.
It was number 1.
Okay.
Portal 2 lost a spot, and number
so what's
1,
number 1?
you know what it is.
I don't know. I didn't know the other ones.
You know it.
Hollow Knight.
It's Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even going to let the people guess because they should know by this point.
Right.
So Hollow Knight was kind of. That was a close call.
That was close.
I was reaching for my water rag. So Hollow Knight is the game that I can't stop thinking about. It's one of the few games that I will actually watch other people stream for no other reason than that I don't care about how good they are. I don't want to watch a speed run. I don't care about like how quickly you can beat all pantheons of the bosses. I don't give a flying flim flam about any of that BS. I just want to see your reactions
Right.
as you experience the wonder all for yourself. And like I get so much joy out of that sharing like across time and space of somebody in Poland, for example, playing it for the first first time that I'm like, look at them having so much fun. I feel so many
Hollow Knight
emotions.
memories.
Just Hollow Knight memories. Look at them making their own path for the first time ever. Also, they missed that charm right behind that hidden wall. And it's just the game that I go back to again and again, and I'm still playing parts of it that I either know about and haven't beaten, or I have still found things that I missed the first time around. And I'm like, oh my God, there was a whole little section of the map that I just had straight up not been to. And it's amazing how much is hidden in a game that you would think is so small. I still hear people say that Hollow Knight is a 10-hour game. And that's just not true.
Yeah, how?
I mean,
I've played at least that in the first area because I'm dumb and can't get farther than
you
that.
can play that much well, and you can get through the game easily in a few hours if you're speedrunning it and if you have a lot of skill. But in order to get the most out of it and get the maximum enjoyment, absolute minimum, I would say 30 hours, and I think I clocked in about 48, maybe actually 50 by the time I had, air quotes, beaten the final boss. And I did almost everything that I had available to me. I thought about potentially, do we want to thank somebody?
We do, but can
Okay. I think that I kind of played around with the idea of not putting Hollow Knight at number 1, because it does have a couple of facets of it in the way later game that I think are really inaccessible to the majority of casual gamers, just in terms of the crushing brutal difficulty of what they're expecting of you. So without too much spoiler, I'm talking about the Pantheons, which for the casual gamer are virtually impossible. So for me, it's like, I know there's a part of the game that I will probably realistically never be able to beat. I'm struggling still with the 3rd level of the Colosseum. You think I can do the Pantheons? I'm almost 30. I cannot do that.
Your reflexes are not what they were.
So I will say that, obviously it's meant to be a challenging game, and I understand that, though, which is why I still figured, well, you know what, I'm still going to put it at number 1. So no holds barred, Hollow Knight, number 1 game.
Very nice.
I feel very confident about that decision.
Nice.
If I had more Hollow Knight themed tattoos, I would have covered my whole body in them.
Very nice, very nice. So while Mogan was singing the praises of Hollow Knight, we have to sing the praises of someone else, though, for a donation
Oh my goodness.
of $100 to our
That's
Extra
so
Life.
many dollars.
I know.
Oh my
So
God.
thank you, Michael, for your donation to Extra Life and helping us get even closer to a goal. So we've passed now $531.
We're
what was
almost
our
to
next-
600.
Almost to 600.
I think that was the mark of your doing a dedicated Stronghold stream.
It was $600.
My Lord Jarrett may soon be gracing us.
Melody does not strike our cows.
We're
my
going to
lord.
get him a sweet crown. We're going to get him a cape. And my Lord Jared is going to come around if we get to that 600 mark
Yep.
to do a dedicated stream of Stronghold.
So I'm
I'd pay
hoping.
good money for that.
Well, you know how much money you have to pay to make that stream happen?
Yeah, how much additional money do we need?
$69.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Somebody make it happen.
My mental math is real. Please, somebody donate $69. That's so funny.
Oh, but there we go.
You'll never get the chance again.
I know, right? It's perfect, and you get a Stronghold
Oh my
stream.
God.
Also, one of my favorite game. Not enough to quite to make this
Hilarious.
list, but it's another game that I hold very strongly in my heart. But yeah, so only $69 away from our next goal milestone.
That's the best.
Okay, so we've run through our lists. Let's recap them all for everybody. So mine again, starting at number 10, is Donkey Kong Country. Red Dead at number 9. Red Dead Redemption 1, clarifying. Number 8 is Doom from 2016. Number 7, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, New Edition. Number 6, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare from 2007. Number 5, Ori and the Blind Forest. Number 4, Life is Strange Season 1. Number 3, Civilization Series. Number 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. And number 1, The Last of Us. Looking forward to The Last of Us Part 2. You don't even know.
Yeah. I
So
wonder
excited.
where it'll rank. We'll have to shake this up all again in approximately 1 to 2 years.
Exactly.
All right, so mine are number 10, Stardew Valley. Number 9, Golden Sun, a classic Game Boy Advanced game. Number 8, Metroid Prime. Number 7, Breath of the Wild. Number 6, The Legend of Dragoon. Number 5, Pikmin 2. Number 4, Life is Strange Season 1. Season
Or
1.
Life is Strange 1.
Whatever. Number 3, Wind Waker. Number 2, Portal 2. And number 1, Hollow Knight.
Oh, wait. we just got another
No.
donation.
Wait, did somebody donate $69?
Yes, we did.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you, 69. I will give you 69 French fries.
Bromogan does say in the chat, what a varied list, Jared. If I saw those 10 games side by side, I'd never guess they were all favorites of the same person. What can I say? I'm a man of varied taste.
Is he saying I'm basic?
Maybe.
That's what I heard.
much what I'm taking away from
Wow,
that.
brutal.
Okay, we have another donation. Let's see what this one. Oh, we got it. Do the thing. $69.
Yes,
So there we go.
$69.
Stronghold
That's
stream is
amazing.
happening.
Michael MVP
Woo!
coming in with the clutch play.
Oh, it's great. It's great. So, Stronghold stream is going to
my God,
happen.
that's
We will
so
keep
funny.
you updated when that will happen. I will get that going soon, though. So don't you worry. Don't wait for
Print
2
this
months longer.
screenshot out. I want to
Okay,
take that
a
home.
take a little screenshot of this. Shift command
Yeah, there we
forward,
go.
and
Yeah.
zoop,
Boom.
Boom. Done. I'll send that to you later. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up what we had to talk about
Wait,
today.
I have one more tattoo to get through, and then we'll be ready.
We planned this basically perfectly. We were able to keep talking long enough that you were able to do all 20. Wait, you got to do 2 more now.
Fuck.
All right, we just got to sit
Oh
here.
no, I don't have them cut out. We'll do it on the Dream Daddy stream.
Boom.
I'll put them on the Dream.
Because
damn it,
that'll
because
give us-
that's actually so much more. That's what's 100. What's
Oh my
169
God,
divided
it
by
is.
15?
Oh, I'll do that quick math.
Oh
I'm
my
not fast enough
God!
to do that math.
Stop donating. Please, I'm begging you. I'm running out of skin.
So $169 divided by 15. That's another 11 tattoos.
Gosh, but darn it. All right, so during the Dream Daddy stream, you will see me putting on minimum 11 more temporary
Provided
tattoos.
more people don't donate.
And if
The
they
number could just
do,
keep going
I mean,
up.
the maximum is 150 because it's it's 100 because it's 1500 divided by 15. So the maximum is
Right.
100 tattoos, and we're just now barely getting into the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
What have I done?
What have you done? You should
What
have
was
done like
I
20 or
thinking?
30
I'm
bucks.
already running out of body space.
Well, I mean, some will come off.
I do have a ton of
'Cause,
tiny
I mean,
ones.
I'm-
I have many small ones, and they will, fingers crossed, come off someday.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. I mean, hopefully you're showering in
You want-
between now and Sunday.
I don't think that they actually come off with soap. I think you have to use oil.
Oh.
Like you have to use, I think, just like olive oil or coconut oil. That's what the beauty
When I was a kid,
community
more
uses.
temporary tattoos, they just always came off eventually.
Well, that too. I mean, I
But
guess
I
I
was also a kid who,
could just go outside and play in the mud.
Yeah,
That'll probably work.
that gets it.
Anyways,
Get that grit.
yeah, get that grit.
that
I
grit.
just need a nice sugar scrub.
Yeah,
that's what I
all you
need.
need.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
spa day.
Yeah,
If I went to the spa looking like this, like, excuse me, I need you to scrub all of these off of me.
That's all I require.
They would be like, ma'am, that's a premium service we don't provide. Oh
So
boy.
let's see. You guys better start exercising those vocal cords. Dream Daddy is all dialogue all
Oh,
day.
we should be calling it Stream Daddy. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Also, I looked the other day on Twitch to find other people that were streaming Dream Daddy. None.
To be
It was
fair,
none.
The game's a couple years old.
It is a couple of years old, but still, that feels like a crime to me.
Well,
We're gonna fix
we're
that.
going to rectify
We're
it.
gonna fix that.
We're going to fix it on our stream Sunday night, 5 p.m. Central Time.
Oh my God, nail polish remover. Fuchsia's trying to kill me. Wait, who is that? Drama
no,
Queen.
Drama Queen.
She's trying to kill me. I'll die.
From inhaling that much?
No, from absorbing it into my skin.
That's true. There's a lot. You're gonna take-
How do you
Oh,
like that
one's
middle
cool.
finger? That one's
That
cool.
one's cool.
I don't know how well they can see it from a distance, but it's a sweet little
Skull in a heart.
black heart skull on my middle finger so I can flip some people off in traffic.
And they'll know you mean it
And they'll know I mean it.
because you got a skull.
All right,
your
so
hand.
prepare yourself for pictures of my beautiful body art, probably on the Discord and Twitter later.
Instagram.
I truly
be
am
there.
a work of art now.
Yeah.
There's also some Fender furs mixed in here with the tattoos.
That's fine. Fender Fur mixes into literally every aspect
Indeed.
of my life. But he's just a cute little pepper. But yeah, I think we've reached the end of this episode.
I think
I
we
gotta
have.
say, everybody, it feels damn good to be back in these chairs.
It does.
and especially to do it a live episode. Like
Well-
this is why it was great to come back and do this as a live episode. Kick off year 4 right,
Exactly.
and man, I am just hella excited for what year 4 is going to bring.
I'm excited to officially kick it off with Dream Daddy. That's
Yeah.
what I'm looking forward
It's
to.
like how could the year possibly go wrong? Starting with
Sunday.
such a great game.
5 p.m. people. Tune in.
Twitch.tv/Team Chat Podcast. We'll see you all there. But everybody, that's right, Cody. Damn, it does feel good to be a gangsta.
I think I'm more gangsta than you now. I have more tattoos than you now.
That's true. You've surpassed
Yeah.
my 6 by quite a lot.
By a lot. Yeah. Sam's going to be really impressed when I go out there and she sees this.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad about my wrist one. I really
It
did.
still looks cool.
I really did F it up. Anyways.
All right. But thank you all, everyone, for joining us on this stream.
Yes, thank
Until
you.
next time, I am one of your hosts, Jarrett Wilson, joined by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
We'll see you all next week for a new episode of the show. Stay tuned.
I feel pretty cool.
I'm going to awkwardly jump over here.
No, don't turn it off. Don't censor.